Tired of pushing hard for success, only to feel stressed and unfulfilled? The audiobook, The Art of Not Forcing, Let Success Flow Smoothly to You, reveals a revolutionary approach to effortless achievement. Discover how to cultivate a receptive mindset, align with your true desires, and let success naturally flow into your life. Transform your approach to goals, relationships, and personal growth. Don't miss out on this game-changing guide to unlocking your full potential and living a more fulfilling, successful life with ease. Before we go on, I invite you to download the free bundle, which contains the ebook version of this book and an executive summary of all the chapters with the key takeaways. Studies show that engaging with content through multiple formats significantly enhances learning and retention. Click on the first link in the description to claim your free bundle now and maximize your learning potential. Now it's free, but it won't be for long, so make sure to grab it while you can. Chapter 1: Open to Possibility. In a world that often demands certainty and control, the idea of opening ourselves to possibility can feel counterintuitive. Yet, it's precisely this openness that can lead us to extraordinary success and fulfillment. Welcome to the first chapter of The Art of Not Forcing, Let Success Flow Smoothly to You. Here, we embark on a journey to transform your approach to achievement, replacing struggle with receptivity and rigid expectations with a fluid embrace of opportunity. Imagine standing at the edge of a vast, unexplored landscape. Before you lies a terrain rich with potential, filled with paths you've never considered and opportunities you've yet to discover. This is the realm of possibility, and it's accessible to anyone willing to open their mind to new perspectives. The philosophy of not forcing isn't about passivity. It's about aligning yourself with the natural flow of success and allowing it to come to you with ease. As we delve into this chapter, you'll learn to cultivate a mindset that attracts success rather than chasing it. You'll discover how to recognize and challenge the limiting beliefs that have been holding you back, and you'll begin to see the world through a lens of abundant opportunity. This shift in perspective is the foundation upon which all other principles in this book are built. But what exactly can you expect to achieve as you work through this material for the first time? First and foremost, you'll develop an open and receptive mindset towards success. This means learning to approach your goals with curiosity and flexibility, rather than rigid determination. You'll start to recognize the limiting beliefs that have been hindering your progress and develop tools to challenge and overcome them. Perhaps most excitingly, you'll begin to embrace new perspectives and opportunities that you might have previously overlooked or dismissed. Over time, as you continue to practice and internalize these concepts, the benefits compound. You'll find yourself with an increased ability to attract and recognize opportunities in all areas of your life. Your adaptability and resilience in the face of change will grow, allowing you to navigate life's inevitable twists and turns with grace. Ultimately, you'll discover a more fulfilling and effortless path to achieving your goals, one that aligns with your true self and flows naturally. So, what's involved in this transformative process? And what are the most important steps? It begins with identifying and breaking down the mental barriers that have been holding you back. These barriers often take the form of limiting beliefs, ingrained thoughts, and assumptions about yourself and the world that constrain your potential. Once you've recognized these barriers, you can start to challenge and dismantle them. The next crucial step is cultivating curiosity and embracing uncertainty. This might feel uncomfortable at first, especially if you're used to seeking control and certainty. However, learning to find comfort in the unknown is key to opening yourself to new possibilities. It's about shifting your perspective to see uncertainty not as a threat, but as a field of potential waiting to be explored. Finally, you'll learn to set clear intentions that align with this new, open mindset. This ensures that your actions and goals are in harmony with your desire for growth and receptivity to opportunity. It's about creating a roadmap that guides you toward success while remaining flexible enough to adapt to unexpected opportunities along the way. Why are these steps important, and why are they presented in this order? It all starts with awareness. Before you can make any meaningful change, you need to understand what's been holding you back. That's why we begin by identifying limiting beliefs and mental barriers. Once you're aware of these obstacles, you can start to challenge and overcome them. From there, cultivating curiosity builds the foundation for openness. It's curiosity that drives us to explore new ideas, consider different perspectives, and step out of our comfort zones. This naturally leads to a more open and receptive mindset. Finally, aligning your intentions ensures that your newfound openness is directed toward your desired outcomes. It's about harnessing the power of possibility and channeling it toward your goals and aspirations. Now, let's delve deeper into the concept of openness. At its core, openness is about expanding your perspective and embracing the vast potential that exists in every moment. It's the difference between a closed mindset, which sees the world through a narrow lens of preconceived notions and fixed beliefs, and an open mindset, which remains curious, flexible, and receptive to new ideas and opportunities. A closed mindset can be incredibly limiting. It leads us to make assumptions about what's possible, often causing us to overlook or dismiss valuable opportunities. We might tell ourselves, "That's not for me," or "I could never do that," without even giving ourselves a chance to try. This self-imposed limitation can keep us stuck in patterns that no longer serve us, preventing us from reaching our full potential. On the other hand, an open mindset allows us to see the world as a place of abundant possibility. It encourages us to question our assumptions, consider new perspectives, and remain curious about what might be possible. With an open mindset, we're more likely to notice and seize opportunities that a closed mindset might miss entirely. This brings us to the crucial role of perception in opportunity. Our mindset shapes our reality in profound ways. When we're open to possibility, we're more likely to notice and recognize opportunities when they present themselves. It's not that more opportunities suddenly appear. Rather, we become attuned to seeing the potential that was always there. Think about a time when you learned a new word and suddenly you started hearing it everywhere. The word didn't suddenly become more common, you simply became aware of it. The same principle applies to opportunities. When we open our minds to possibility, we start to recognize the potential for growth and success in situations we might have previously overlooked. As we move forward, it's important to address the mental barriers that might be holding you back. These often take the form of limiting beliefs, deeply ingrained thoughts and assumptions that constrain our potential. Common limiting beliefs include thoughts like, "I'm not good enough," "Success is only for lucky people," or "I don't have what it takes to achieve my dreams." These beliefs can be insidious, often operating below the level of conscious awareness. They color our perceptions, influence our decisions, and ultimately shape our reality. The first step in overcoming these barriers is to bring them into the light of awareness. Start paying attention to your self-talk, especially in challenging situations. What messages are you telling yourself? Are these messages empowering, or are they holding you back? Once you've identified your limiting beliefs, you can begin to challenge them. Ask yourself, is this belief really true? Where did it come from? How has it served me in the past, and is it still serving me now? Often, you'll find that these beliefs are based on outdated information or false assumptions. By questioning them, you can begin to loosen their hold on you. Challenging your assumptions is a powerful way to open yourself to new possibilities. We all carry assumptions about how the world works and what we're capable of. These assumptions can become so ingrained that we don't even realize we're making them. By consciously questioning these assumptions, you can start to see situations from new angles and consider possibilities you might have previously dismissed. As you work on breaking down mental barriers, it's equally important to cultivate a receptive attitude. This involves practicing curiosity and embracing uncertainty. Curiosity is the engine of growth and discovery. It drives us to ask questions, explore new ideas, and seek out novel experiences. By nurturing your natural curiosity, you open yourself to a world of possibility. The power of asking questions cannot be overstated. Questions open doors to new understanding and insight. They challenge assumptions and spark creativity. Make it a habit to ask what if and why not. These simple questions can lead you down exciting new paths of possibility. Embracing uncertainty might feel uncomfortable at first, especially if you're used to seeking control and certainty in your life. However, learning to find comfort in the unknown is key to opening yourself to new possibilities. Uncertainty is where growth happens. It's in the spaces of not knowing that we have the opportunity to discover something new about ourselves and the world around us. Try to reframe how you view uncertainty. Instead of seeing it as a threat or something to be avoided, try to see it as a field of potential waiting to be explored. Every uncertain situation is an opportunity for growth, learning, and unexpected success. As we near the end of this chapter, it's time to focus on setting intentions for openness. This involves aligning your goals with your newfound openness and visualizing success through this new lens. Start by clarifying your true desires. What do you really want to achieve? Are these goals aligned with your values and the open mindset you're cultivating? Ensure that your goals encourage openness rather than constricting it. For example, instead of setting a rigid goal like, I must achieve X by this specific date, try framing it as, I'm open to achieving X or something even better in the perfect timing. This allows for flexibility and opens you up to possibilities you might not have considered. Visualization can be a powerful tool in this process. Spend time each day visualizing yourself living with an open mindset, embracing opportunities, and achieving your goals with ease and flow. You might even consider creating a vision board that represents this open, possibility-filled life you're creating. As we conclude this chapter, remember that opening yourself to possibility is not a one-time event, but an ongoing practice. It's about cultivating a mindset that remains curious, flexible, and receptive to the abundance of opportunities that surround us every day. By breaking down mental barriers, challenging assumptions, and setting intentions aligned with openness, you're laying the foundation for a life of effortless success and fulfillment. In the chapters that follow, we'll build upon this foundation, exploring how to embrace ease, trust the process, and allow success to flow naturally into your life. But for now, take a moment to appreciate the journey you've begun. You've taken the first step toward a new way of approaching success, one that aligns with the natural flow of life rather than struggling against it. As you move forward, keep your mind open to the endless possibilities that await. Who knows what unexpected opportunities might present themselves when you're truly open to receiving them? The journey of not forcing is just beginning, and the path ahead is filled with potential beyond your wildest dreams. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to Grow to the Top and activate notifications to receive more self-improvement tips that will supercharge your growth. And make sure to give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. It really helps the channel grow. Thank you for your support. Chapter 2, Embrace Ease. As we embark on this chapter, let's take a moment to reflect on a common misconception that permeates our society. We've been conditioned to believe that success is the result of relentless struggle, that achievement comes only through gritted teeth and clenched fists. But what if there was another way? What if the path to our goals could be smoother, more enjoyable, and dare we say it, easier? This is the essence of embracing ease, a concept that might seem counterintuitive at first glance. After all, we've been taught that anything worth having is worth fighting for. But as we delve deeper into this chapter, you'll discover that ease isn't about avoiding effort or shirking responsibility. It's about finding a state of flow where your actions align perfectly with your goals, where productivity becomes almost effortless, and where success feels like a natural outcome rather than a hard-won battle. The importance of this shift in perspective cannot be overstated. Consider for a moment the toll that constant struggle takes on your mind and body. The stress, the tension, the exhaustion, these are not just temporary discomforts, but potential roadblocks on your path to success. They can cloud your judgment, stifle your creativity, and ultimately lead to burnout. By learning to embrace ease, you're not just making your journey more pleasant, you're actually enhancing your ability to achieve your goals. But what does it really mean to embrace ease? It's not about sitting back and expecting success to fall into your lap. Rather, it's about understanding the difference between productive effort and unnecessary struggle. It's about recognizing when you're forcing things and when you're flowing with them. This distinction is crucial, and as we progress through this chapter, you'll learn to identify the signs of both states in your own life and work. One of the key benefits of aligned actions, those that come from a place of ease rather than force, is their impact on your productivity and overall well-being. When you're working in alignment with your natural strengths and interests, tasks that once seemed daunting become manageable, even enjoyable. You'll find yourself accomplishing more in less time and with less stress. This isn't just about getting things done, it's about thriving as you do them. Now, let's address a concern that might be bubbling up in your mind. Does embracing ease mean giving up on hard work? Absolutely not. In fact, we need to redefine what we mean by hard work. Traditionally, we've equated hard work with struggle, with pushing ourselves to the limit and beyond. But what if hard work could feel easy? This isn't as paradoxical as it might sound. Think about a time when you were so engrossed in a task that you lost track of time. Maybe you were working on a project you were passionate about or engaging in a hobby you love. Hours flew by, but it didn't feel like work. That's the state we're aiming for, a state where your efforts align so perfectly with your goals and interests that they energize you rather than drain you. Of course, not every task can be inherently enjoyable. There will always be aspects of work and life that require discipline and perseverance, but even these can be approached with a sense of ease. It's about finding the path of least resistance, the approach that feels most natural and aligned with who you are. As we explore this concept further, you'll learn to recognize the signs of forcing versus flowing in your own life. These indicators can be both physical and emotional. When you're forcing, you might feel tense, frustrated, or exhausted. Your progress feels slow and painful. On the other hand, when you're flowing, there's a sense of ease and momentum. You feel energized rather than drained, focused rather than scattered. The characteristics of being in flow are worth exploring in more detail. Psychologists describe flow as a state of optimal experience where you're fully immersed in what you're doing. Time seems to fly by, self-consciousness fades away, and you're operating at peak performance. This isn't just a pleasant state to be in, it's also incredibly productive. Studies have shown that people in flow states are up to 5 times more productive than usual. So how do we cultivate this state of ease and flow? One key aspect is aligning with your natural strengths. We all have core competencies, areas where we excel naturally. When we work within these areas, tasks feel easier and results come more readily. The challenge is identifying these strengths and finding ways to leverage them in our daily lives and work. This process of self-discovery is ongoing, but there are exercises that can help. Reflect on times when you felt most in your element, when work felt effortless and rewarding. What were you doing? What skills were you using? These moments offer clues to your natural strengths. You might also consider asking trusted friends or colleagues what they see as your unique talents. Sometimes others can spot our strengths more easily than we can ourselves. Once you've identified your core competencies, the next step is finding ways to apply them more often in your life and work. This might involve reshaping your current role to play more to your strengths, or it could mean seeking out new opportunities that align better with your natural talents. The goal is to spend more time in that sweet spot where your abilities meet the demands of your tasks. Closely related to the concept of natural strengths is the role of passion in creating ease. When you're passionate about what you're doing, it rarely feels like work. This doesn't mean you need to love every aspect of your job or life, but finding ways to incorporate your interests into your goals can make the journey much smoother. Consider how you might integrate your passions into your current pursuits. If you're working towards a professional goal but have a passion for art, Could you find ways to bring creativity into your work? If you're studying for a degree but love nature, could you find ways to study outdoors or apply your learning to environmental issues? By aligning your goals with your interests, you create a sense of ease and flow that can carry you through even challenging tasks. Creating an environment conducive to ease is another crucial aspect of this approach. Your physical workspace can have a significant impact on your ability to enter a state of flow. A cluttered, chaotic environment can lead to a cluttered, chaotic mind. On the other hand, a well-organized, pleasant space can help you focus and feel at ease. Take some time to optimize your workspace. This doesn't necessarily mean a complete overhaul. Even small changes can make a big difference. Ensure you have adequate lighting, a comfortable chair, and a clean, organized desk. Remove distractions as much as possible. If you work in a shared space, consider using noise-canceling headphones or finding a quiet corner where you can focus. Beyond your physical environment, establishing supportive routines can greatly enhance your sense of ease. Routines reduce decision fatigue and create a sense of structure that can be comforting and productive. The key is to craft habits that reduce friction in your day, making it easier to get into a flow state. This might involve setting up a morning routine that energizes you for the day ahead, or creating transition rituals that help you shift between different types of tasks. Time management techniques can also be helpful here. Methods like the Pomodoro technique, which involves focused work intervals followed by short breaks, can help you maintain concentration and avoid burnout. As you implement these strategies, it's important to practice mindful engagement with your tasks. Being fully present in your actions is a cornerstone of working with ease. When you're truly focused on what you're doing, distractions fall away and you're able to enter that coveted flow state more easily. There are various techniques you can use to enhance your focus. Mindfulness meditation, even for just a few minutes a day, can train your brain to stay present. During tasks, try to give your full attention to what you're doing. If you find your mind wandering, gently bring it back to the task at hand. Avoid multitasking, which can fragment your attention and make tasks feel more difficult than they need to be. Another aspect of mindful engagement is learning to listen to your intuition. We often have an innate sense of when we're on the right track, when we're working in alignment with our true selves. Trusting these gut feelings can guide you towards paths of greater ease and fulfillment. Developing this trust in your inner guidance takes practice. Start by paying attention to how you feel as you work on different tasks or make decisions. Do you feel a sense of excitement and flow, or do you feel resistance and struggle? Over time, you'll become more attuned to these internal signals, allowing you to make choices that align better with your natural state of ease. To help you put these concepts into practice, let's explore some practical exercises. One powerful technique for inducing a flow state is to engage in activities that challenge you just enough to hold your interest, but not so much that they overwhelm you. This could be anything from solving puzzles to playing an instrument to engaging in a sport you enjoy. The key is to find that sweet spot where the task is neither too easy nor too difficult. Another helpful practice is to schedule your most important tasks during your peak energy times. We all have periods in the day when we feel more alert and focused. By aligning your most challenging work with these times, you're more likely to enter a state of flow and accomplish tasks with ease. Journaling can also be a valuable tool for alignment. Take time regularly to reflect on your experiences. Which tasks felt effortless? When did you feel most in flow? By identifying patterns of ease in your life, you can start to replicate those conditions more often. As you implement these strategies, you'll likely start to see positive changes in your life and work. At a minimum, you should experience reduced stress and greater enjoyment of your tasks. This alone is a significant improvement in quality of life. As you continue to practice, you may notice increased productivity and creativity. Tasks that once seemed daunting become manageable, even enjoyable. The ultimate outcome of embracing ease is the ability to achieve your goals effortlessly while maintaining your well-being. This doesn't mean you won't face challenges or need to put in effort, but it does mean that your journey towards success becomes smoother, more enjoyable, and ultimately more sustainable. Of course, as with any significant change, there can be obstacles along the way. One common pitfall is misinterpreting ease as laziness. It's important to understand that working with ease doesn't mean avoiding effort or responsibility. It's about finding the most efficient, aligned way to achieve your goals. If you find yourself slipping into complacency, remind yourself of your goals and the satisfaction that comes from meaningful achievement. Another challenge can be resistance to changing long-established habits. We often become comfortable with our routines, even if they're not serving us well. Overcoming this resistance requires patience and persistence. Start with small changes and gradually build up. Celebrate your successes along the way, no matter how small they might seem. As we conclude this chapter, take a moment to reflect on what you've learned. The concept of embracing ease offers a radical shift in how we approach success and achievement. It's not about working less, but about working smarter, in greater alignment with your natural strengths and passions. Remember, this is a journey. Embracing ease is a skill that develops over time with practice and patience. Be kind to yourself as you explore these new ways of working and living. Celebrate the moments when you find yourself in flow and learn from the times when you fall back into old patterns of struggle. As you move forward, keep in mind that embracing ease is just one piece of the puzzle. In the next chapter, we'll explore another crucial aspect of letting success flow smoothly to you. It's a concept that might challenge your preconceptions about control and outcomes. Are you ready to dive deeper into the art of not forcing? The journey continues, and the path ahead holds intriguing possibilities. Chapter 3: Trust the Process. As we venture into this chapter, let's consider a question that often lurks in the back of our minds when we're working towards a goal. Am I on the right path? This uncertainty can be unsettling, especially when we can't see immediate results. It's natural to want assurance that our efforts are leading somewhere meaningful. But what if the key to progress lies not in constant validation, but in something deeper? This chapter invites you to explore a powerful concept that can transform your approach to success. It's an idea that might seem counterintuitive at first, especially in our fast-paced, results-driven world. Yet, as we delve deeper, you'll discover how embracing this principle can lead to not just greater achievement, but also a more fulfilling journey along the way. At its core, this concept is about developing a different relationship with time and progress. It's about cultivating a sense of faith, not in external forces, but in yourself and the path you've chosen. This faith isn't blind. It's grounded in understanding and self-awareness. As we explore this idea, you'll learn how to build this faith, nurture it, and use it as a powerful tool in your pursuit of success. But why is this so important? In our quest for success, we often fall into the trap of impatience. We want results, and we want them now. This impatience can lead us to make hasty decisions, change course too quickly, or give up altogether when we don't see immediate progress. What we fail to realize is that true, lasting success often takes time to manifest. Consider for a moment the growth of a tree. From the outside, a newly planted sapling might not seem to change much day to day, but beneath the surface, intricate root systems are developing, strengthening the tree's foundation. It's only over time that we see the visible results of this hidden growth. Our journey towards success can be much the same. By learning to trust in our process, we give ourselves the time and space needed for real growth and development. This trust acts as a buffer against the anxiety and doubt that can derail our efforts. It allows us to maintain focus and continue putting in consistent effort, even when the path ahead seems uncertain. Moreover, this approach helps us build genuine confidence. Not the fragile kind that comes from external validation, but a deep-seated belief in our abilities and chosen path. This confidence becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, propelling us forward and helping us overcome obstacles along the way. As we begin to shift our focus from immediate results to the journey itself, we open ourselves up to a whole new perspective on success. It's not just about reaching a destination, it's about who we become along the way. This shift in mindset can transform how we approach our goals and how we measure our progress. Instead of fixating on perfection, we learn to value progress. Every small step forward becomes a victory worth celebrating. This doesn't mean lowering our standards. Rather, it's about recognizing that success is built on a foundation of incremental improvements. By appreciating these small wins, we maintain motivation and build momentum. This perspective also helps us let go of the need for instant gratification. In a world of one-click purchases and instant downloads, patience can feel like an outdated virtue. But in the realm of personal growth and achievement, patience is more valuable than ever. It allows us to stick with our efforts long enough to see real results, rather than jumping from one quick fix to another. Letting go of the need for immediate results doesn't mean we become passive or complacent. Instead, it frees us to focus our energy on the actions we can take in the present moment. We learn to find satisfaction in the doing, not just in the outcome. This shift can make the journey itself more enjoyable and fulfilling. As we cultivate trust in our process, it's important to build confidence in the path we've chosen. One powerful way to do this is by recognizing our past successes. Take a moment to reflect on the challenges you've overcome and the goals you've achieved in the past. These experiences are proof of your capability and resilience. Often, we're quick to dismiss our past achievements, especially if we're facing new challenges. But each success, no matter how small, is evidence of your ability to learn, grow, and overcome obstacles. By acknowledging these past wins, you reinforce your belief in your ability to succeed in the future. Another crucial aspect of building confidence is affirming your personal capabilities. This isn't about empty self-praise, but about recognizing and owning your strengths and skills. Positive affirmations, when used thoughtfully, can be a powerful tool in overcoming self-doubt and reinforcing your belief in yourself. Try creating affirmations that resonate with you personally. These might be statements about your abilities, your commitment to your goals, or your trust in the process. The key is to make them feel authentic and meaningful to you. Repeat these affirmations regularly, especially when you're facing doubts or challenges. As you build trust in your process, consistency becomes your greatest ally. Establishing reliable practices and routines creates a foundation for long-term success. These don't have to be grand gestures. Often, it's the small daily actions that compound over time to create significant results. Think about the habits and practices that align with your goals. It might be dedicating a certain amount of time each day to skill development, or following a specific routine that helps you stay focused and productive. The key is to make these practices sustainable and to stick with them consistently. Remember, the power of these practices lies in their cumulative effect. Each individual action might seem small, but over time they add up to create substantial change. This is the compound effect in action: small, consistent efforts multiplying their impact over time. Of course, no journey is without its setbacks. Challenges and obstacles are an inevitable part of any worthwhile pursuit. The difference lies in how we perceive and respond to these setbacks. When we trust in our process, we can view challenges not as roadblocks, but as opportunities for growth and learning. Developing strategies for resilience is crucial. This might involve reframing setbacks as valuable feedback, seeking support from others when needed, or having a plan in place for how to respond when things don't go as expected. The goal is to build the mental and emotional strength to keep moving forward, even when the path gets tough. One of the most challenging aspects of trusting the process is releasing the need for control. We often fall into the trap of thinking that if we just try hard enough, we can control every aspect of our journey and its outcomes. But the reality is that there are many factors beyond our control. Learning to differentiate between what we can control and what we can only influence is a crucial skill. By focusing our energy on the areas where we can take action, we become more effective and less frustrated. This doesn't mean giving up on our goals. It means approaching them with a more realistic and sustainable mindset. Embracing flexibility is another key component of this approach. When we're too rigid in our expectations or methods, we can miss out on unexpected opportunities or become discouraged when things don't go exactly as planned. By cultivating adaptability, we become better equipped to navigate the twists and turns of our journey. To help integrate these concepts into your daily life, there are several practical exercises you can try. One powerful practice is to engage in daily affirmations of trust. This might involve starting each day by stating your commitment to your path and your belief in the process. Over time, this can help reinforce your trust and keep you aligned with your goals. Journaling is another valuable tool. Take time regularly to reflect on your progress, noting not just the outcomes, but the efforts you're making and the lessons you're learning along the way. This can help you recognize the growth that might not be immediately apparent and reinforce your trust in the process. Mindfulness practices can also be incredibly helpful in developing patience and present moment awareness. Meditation, even for just a few minutes a day, can help you cultivate a sense of calm and focus. It can also help you become more aware of your thoughts and reactions, allowing you to respond more intentionally to challenges. As you implement these practices and embrace the concept of trusting the process, you'll likely start to notice changes in your approach to your goals and your overall well-being. At a minimum, you should experience reduced anxiety over outcomes. When you're not constantly worrying about whether you're going to succeed, you free up mental and emotional energy to focus on the task at hand. With continued practice, you may find yourself making steady progress toward your goals. This progress might not always be linear or visible day to day, but over time, you'll likely see significant advancements. The key is to stay committed to your path and to trust in the cumulative effect of your efforts. The ultimate outcome of fully embracing this approach is the ability to achieve success with confidence and peace of mind. This doesn't mean you won't face challenges or doubts along the way, but it does mean that you'll have the resilience and self-assurance to navigate these obstacles without losing sight of your ultimate goals. Of course, as with any significant shift in mindset and behavior, there can be challenges along the way. One common pitfall is falling back into old habits of trying to control everything. It's important to be aware of these tendencies and to have strategies in place to let go when you notice yourself becoming overly controlling. Another potential challenge is losing motivation during periods of slow progress. This is where the practice of reframing expectations becomes crucial. Remind yourself that progress isn't always visible and that periods of apparent stagnation can often be times of important internal growth. Use reminders of your commitment and your past successes to reinforce your motivation during these times. As we conclude this chapter, take a moment to reflect on what you've learned. Trusting the process is about more than just patience. It's about developing a deep-seated faith in yourself and your chosen path. It's about finding peace in the journey, even when the destination seems far away. Remember, this trust isn't something that develops overnight. It's a skill that you'll continue to cultivate throughout your journey. Be patient with yourself as you practice these new ways of thinking and acting. Celebrate the moments when you find yourself naturally trusting the process, and learn from the times when you struggle. As you move forward, keep in mind that trusting the process is just one piece of the puzzle in the art of not forcing. In the next chapter, we'll explore a concept that might challenge your ideas about success and achievement even further. It's an approach that could revolutionize how you pursue your goals. Are you ready to let go in order to gain more? The journey continues, and the path ahead holds intriguing possibilities that you might never have considered before. Chapter 4. Detach from outcome. Have you ever found yourself so fixated on a goal that the very thought of it consumes your every waking moment? The anticipation of success, or the fear of failure, becomes an ever-present companion, coloring your thoughts and influencing your actions. While this intense focus might seem like dedication, it often carries a hidden cost that we rarely consider. In this chapter, we're going to explore a concept that might initially seem counterintuitive, especially if you've been conditioned to believe that success comes from unwavering focus on your goals. We're going to delve into the art of letting go, not of your aspirations, but of your attachment to specific outcomes. At first glance, this idea might sound puzzling. After all, isn't the whole point of setting goals to achieve particular outcomes? Isn't our attachment to these outcomes what drives us forward? These are valid questions, and as we journey through this chapter, we'll unravel the complexities behind them. The truth is, our relationship with outcomes is often more complicated than we realize. While having clear goals is important, becoming overly attached to specific results can actually hinder our progress and diminish our enjoyment of the journey. This attachment can create a constant state of tension where we're always reaching for something just beyond our grasp, never fully present in the moment. Consider for a moment the last time you were completely engrossed in an activity you enjoyed. Perhaps you were creating something, solving a problem, or engaged in a hobby. Chances are, in those moments, you weren't thinking about the end result. You were fully immersed in the process, finding joy and satisfaction in the act itself. This state of flow, where time seems to disappear and we're fully present, is often where we perform at our best and feel most fulfilled. Now, imagine bringing that same quality of presence and engagement to all aspects of your life and work. This is what detaching from outcomes allows us to do. It's not about abandoning our goals or becoming indifferent to results. Rather, it's about shifting our focus from the future to the present, from what might be to what is. But why is this shift so important? The stress of attachment to outcomes can be overwhelming. When we fixate on specific results, we create a constant state of tension between where we are and where we want to be. This tension can manifest as anxiety, impatience, and frustration. It can lead us to judge our current situation harshly, always finding it lacking compared to our idealized vision of the future. Moreover, this fixation can actually hinder our performance. When we're overly focused on outcomes, we often become rigid in our approach. We might miss opportunities for growth or alternative paths to success because they don't align with our preconceived notions of how things should unfold. This inflexibility can limit our creativity and adaptability, two crucial qualities for success in any endeavor. By contrast, when we learn to focus on the present moment and the actions we can take right now, we open ourselves up to a world of possibilities. We become more attuned to the process of growth and development, finding satisfaction in our efforts rather than constantly deferring our happiness to some future achievement. This shift in focus doesn't mean we abandon our goals or become passive. On the contrary, it allows us to engage more fully and effectively with our pursuits. When we're not constantly anxious about the future, we can bring our full attention and energy to the task at hand. This presence of mind often leads to better performance and more innovative solutions. One of the most significant pitfalls of outcome obsession is the illusion of control it creates. We often fall into the trap of thinking that if we just want something badly enough, if we focus on it intensely enough, we can control the outcome. But the reality is that many factors influencing our results are beyond our control. External circumstances, the actions of others, and unforeseen events all play a role in shaping outcomes. When we attach ourselves too strongly to specific results, we set ourselves up for disappointment and frustration when things don't go exactly as planned. This attachment can lead to a roller coaster of emotions, where our well-being is constantly at the mercy of external circumstances. Accepting the inherent unpredictability of life doesn't mean giving up on our goals. Instead, it means approaching them with a sense of openness and flexibility. It means recognizing that while we can influence many aspects of our lives, we can't control everything. This acceptance can be incredibly liberating, freeing us from the burden of trying to micromanage every detail of our future. So how do we begin to shift our focus from outcomes to the present moment? One powerful tool is the practice of mindfulness. Mindfulness techniques, such as focused breathing exercises and meditation, can help us develop the ability to stay present and engaged in the here and now. These practices train our minds to notice when we're getting caught up in thoughts about the future or regrets about the past, and gently bring our attention back to the present moment. Over time, this can help us develop a greater sense of calm and clarity, allowing us to approach our goals with a more balanced perspective. Another key aspect of focusing on the present is learning to engage fully in our tasks. This means developing the ability to immerse ourselves completely in what we're doing, whether it's a work project, a creative endeavor, or even a routine chore. Techniques for deep work, such as creating distraction-free environments and setting clear intentions for work sessions, can help enhance this immersion. As we learn to detach from outcomes, we can also shift our approach to goal setting. Instead of focusing solely on end results, we can set process-oriented goals that emphasize the actions and efforts we'll make along the way. This shift from outcome to effort allows us to redefine our metrics for success. For example, instead of setting a goal to become a successful writer, which is vague and outcome-focused, we might set a goal to write for an hour every day. This process-oriented goal gives us a clear, actionable focus that's within our control. It allows us to celebrate our efforts and consistency rather than tying our sense of success to external validation or specific achievements. Implementing feedback loops is another valuable strategy in this approach. By regularly reviewing our progress and adjusting our actions based on what we learn, we create a system of continuous improvement. This focus on learning and growth, rather than on reaching a fixed endpoint, can help us stay motivated and engaged even when faced with challenges or setbacks. Developing emotional resilience is crucial as we learn to detach from outcomes. This involves cultivating the ability to maintain our equilibrium in the face of uncertainty and disappointment. Practicing non-attachment, a concept found in many philosophical and spiritual traditions, can be helpful here. Non-attachment doesn't mean not caring about our goals or becoming indifferent to life. Rather, it's about holding our desires and expectations lightly, recognizing that our well-being doesn't depend on specific outcomes. This mindset allows us to pursue our goals with passion and commitment while also maintaining the flexibility to adapt when things don't go as planned. Developing coping strategies for disappointment is also an important part of emotional resilience. This might involve practices like reframing setbacks as learning opportunities, seeking support from others when needed, or engaging in self-care activities to maintain our emotional balance. By building these coping skills, we become better equipped to navigate the ups and downs of our journey without losing sight of our overall direction. To help integrate these concepts into your daily life, there are several practical exercises you can try. One powerful practice is detachment meditation. This involves visualizing your goals and aspirations, acknowledging their importance to you, and then mentally releasing your attachment to specific outcomes. This exercise can help create a sense of spaciousness around your goals, reducing anxiety and allowing for more creative and flexible approaches. Action-focused journaling is another valuable tool. Instead of focusing on results, use your journal to document your efforts, learnings, and the small wins you experience each day. This practice can help shift your attention to the process of growth and development rather than fixating on end results. As you begin to implement these practices and embrace the concept of detaching from outcomes, you're likely to notice some positive changes. At a minimum, you should experience reduced stress and anxiety. When you're not constantly worrying about future results or judging your current situation against an idealized outcome, you free up mental and emotional energy to engage more fully with your life in the present. With continued practice, you may find that your performance and satisfaction in various areas of your life improve. When you're able to focus fully on the task at hand without the distraction of anxiety about outcomes, you often produce better work and enjoy the process more. The ultimate outcome of fully embracing this approach is greater resilience and adaptability, which can lead to more sustainable success. When you're not rigidly attached to specific outcomes, you become more able to navigate challenges, seize unexpected opportunities, and adapt your approach as circumstances change. Of course, as with any significant shift in mindset and behavior, there can be challenges along the way. One common pitfall is mistaking detachment for indifference. It's important to understand that detaching from outcomes doesn't mean not caring about your goals or not putting in effort. It's about changing your relationship with those goals, not abandoning them. If you find yourself struggling with this distinction, it can be helpful to reconnect with your sense of purpose. Remind yourself why your goals are important to you beyond any specific outcomes. Focus on the values and aspirations that drive you rather than on particular results. Another challenge many people face is difficulty in letting go. If you've been in the habit of fixating on outcomes for a long time, it can feel uncomfortable or even scary to loosen your grip. Be patient with yourself as you practice this new way of thinking. Start small, perhaps choosing one area of your life to practice detachment, and gradually expand as you become more comfortable with the approach. Remember, detaching from outcomes is a skill that develops over time. It's normal to have moments of struggle or to occasionally fall back into old patterns of thinking. The key is to approach this process with self-compassion and persistence, recognizing that each moment of practice is valuable, regardless of the immediate result. As we conclude this chapter, take a moment to reflect on what you've learned. Detaching from outcomes isn't about giving up on your dreams or becoming passive in your life. It's about changing your relationship with your goals and aspirations, allowing you to pursue them with passion and commitment while also maintaining flexibility and peace of mind. This approach opens up a new way of engaging with life, one where you can be fully present in each moment, finding satisfaction in your efforts and growth rather than constantly deferring your happiness to some future achievement. It allows you to navigate the inevitable ups and downs of life with greater resilience and adaptability. As you move forward, keep in mind that detaching from outcomes is just one piece of the puzzle in the art of not forcing. In the next chapter, we'll explore a concept that might seem paradoxical at first glance. It's an approach that could fundamentally change how you set and pursue your goals. Are you ready to discover how being more intentional could actually lead to greater freedom and flow in your life? The journey continues, and the path ahead holds insights that might surprise and inspire you in ways you never expected. Chapter 5: Refine Intentions. Have you ever found yourself working tirelessly towards a goal, only to realize upon achieving it that it doesn't bring the satisfaction you expected? Or perhaps you've experienced the frustration of feeling like you're constantly swimming against the current, making progress, but never quite reaching your destination. These experiences, common to many, often stem from a subtle but crucial misalignment, one that lies at the very heart of our motivations and aspirations. In this chapter, we're going to explore a concept that has the power to transform not just how you pursue your goals, but the very nature of the goals themselves. It's an idea that goes beyond simple goal-setting techniques, delving into the core of what truly drives us and brings us fulfillment. At first glance, the notion of refining intentions might seem straightforward. After all, don't we all know what we want? But as we'll discover, our true intentions are often obscured by layers of external expectations, societal pressures, and habitual thinking patterns. Peeling back these layers to reveal our authentic desires is a process, one that requires introspection, honesty, and sometimes a willingness to challenge our long-held beliefs about success and fulfillment. The power of clear intentions cannot be overstated. When our goals are truly aligned with our innermost values and desires, we tap into a wellspring of motivation and energy that can propel us forward with remarkable ease. It's like the difference between paddling upstream and flowing with the current. Both involve movement, but one feels effortless while the other is a constant struggle. But why is this alignment so crucial? The answer lies in the nature of resistance. When our goals are misaligned with our true selves, we often encounter internal resistance. This resistance can manifest in many ways: procrastination, self-sabotage, or a general sense of dissatisfaction even as we make progress. It's as if part of us is moving forward while another part is pulling us back, creating a constant state of inner conflict. This internal tug-of-war not only makes our journey more difficult, but can also lead us to question our path altogether. We might find ourselves wondering why we're not as excited about our achievements as we thought we'd be, or why the goals we've set feel more like burdens than sources of inspiration. Authenticity plays a pivotal role in this process. When our goals and actions are authentic expressions of who we are and what we truly value, we experience a sense of congruence that is deeply fulfilling. This authenticity acts as a compass, guiding us through decisions and challenges with a clear sense of purpose. So how do we begin to refine our intentions? The journey starts with clarifying our vision, not just of what we want to achieve, but of what success truly means to us. This involves looking beyond conventional definitions of success and delving into what genuinely resonates with our personal values and aspirations. Society often presents us with a one-size-fits-all image of success, usually centered around wealth, status, or specific achievements. But true success is deeply personal. For some, it might mean creative expression or intellectual growth. For others, it could be about making a positive impact on the world or achieving a sense of inner peace. The key is to define success on your own terms, free from the pressures and expectations of others. This process of defining personal success is intimately tied to identifying our core values. Our values are the fundamental beliefs that guide our decisions and shape our sense of what's important in life. They're often so ingrained that we might not consciously think about them, but they profoundly influence our choices and our sense of fulfillment. Uncovering these core values often requires deep reflection. It involves looking at the moments in your life when you felt most alive, most satisfied, or most proud. What was it about those experiences that made them meaningful? What principles or ideals were you honoring in those moments? These questions can lead you to insights about what truly matters to you. Once you've identified your core values, the next step is to align your goals with these values. This alignment is where the magic happens, where your aspirations and your authentic self come into harmony. Goals that are in sync with your values feel energizing and meaningful. They pull you forward naturally rather than requiring constant pushing and effort. But how do we distinguish between our authentic desires and the myriad of external influences that shape our ambitions? This is where the concept of wants versus shoulds comes into play. Wants are our genuine desires, the goals and aspirations that resonate with our true selves. Shoulds, on the other hand, are often imposed upon us by external expectations from society, family, or our own internalized beliefs about what we ought to do or be. Recognizing the difference between these two can be challenging. We're often so accustomed to thinking in terms of shoulds that we mistake them for our true desires. It requires a willingness to question our motivations honestly. Ask yourself, if there were no external pressures or expectations, what would I choose? What goals excite me intrinsically rather than for the recognition or approval they might bring? Creating a personal mission statement can be a powerful tool in this process of alignment. Think of it as a manifesto for your life, a clear, concise statement that encapsulates your values, aspirations, and the impact you want to have in the world. This mission statement becomes a touchstone, a reference point for making decisions and setting goals that are truly in line with your authentic self. As you work on refining your intentions, you may discover conflicting desires or goals. This is normal and, in fact, can be a valuable part of the process. These conflicts often highlight areas where we've internalized external expectations that don't align with our true selves. Identifying these inconsistencies is the first step in resolving them. Look for areas in your life where you feel conflicted or where your actions don't seem to match your stated goals. These misalignments are often sources of stress and dissatisfaction. Resolving these conflicts often involves making choices, prioritizing some goals or values over others. This doesn't mean abandoning important aspects of your life, but rather finding ways to honor your most fundamental values while letting go of goals or expectations that don't serve your authentic self. Learning to say no is a crucial skill in this process. When we're clear about our intentions and values, it becomes easier to decline opportunities or commitments that don't align with our true path. This isn't about being selfish, it's about being focused and authentic. By saying no to what doesn't align, we create space to say a wholehearted yes to what truly matters. As you gain clarity about your intentions, you may find it helpful to use visualization techniques to reinforce and clarify your goals. Visualization isn't just about daydreaming. It's a powerful tool for programming your mind and aligning your subconscious with your conscious intentions. Spend time regularly imagining yourself living in alignment with your refined intentions. What does your day look like? How do you feel? What kind of impact are you having? The more vivid and detailed these visualizations, the more powerful they can be in shaping your actions and attitudes. While visualization focuses on the big picture, setting SMART goals, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound, can help you translate your intentions into concrete action steps. The key is to ensure that these SMART goals are truly in service of your authentic intentions, not just arbitrary targets. Practical exercises can help integrate these concepts into your daily life. Intention journaling, regularly reflecting on and writing about your goals and the actions you're taking towards them, can be a powerful tool for maintaining focus and alignment. This practice helps you stay connected with your intentions and allows you to track your progress over time. A values assessment exercise can also be invaluable. This might involve creating a list of potential values and systematically narrowing it down to the ones that resonate most deeply with you. Or it could be a more intuitive process of reflection and self-discovery. The goal is to identify the core principles that truly guide your life and decision-making. As you engage in this process of refining your intentions, you're likely to experience a range of positive outcomes. At a minimum, you should find yourself with a clearer sense of direction and increased motivation. When your goals are truly aligned with your authentic self, you'll feel a natural pull towards them, rather than having to constantly push yourself. With continued practice, you may notice increased alignment in various areas of your life and reduced internal resistance. Tasks that once felt like chores might begin to feel more purposeful and engaging. You may find yourself naturally prioritizing activities that align with your true intentions, while effortlessly letting go of those that don't. The ultimate outcome of this process is a profound sense of fulfillment and an almost effortless progression toward your goals. This doesn't mean that challenges disappear, but rather that you approach them with a sense of purpose and authenticity that makes them feel meaningful rather than burdensome. Of course, the journey of refining intentions is not without its challenges. One common difficulty is accurately identifying our true intentions. We're often so accustomed to thinking in terms of external expectations that discerning our authentic desires can be challenging. If you find yourself struggling with this, it can be helpful to seek feedback from trusted friends or mentors. Sometimes, others can see patterns or authentic desires in us that we've overlooked. Additionally, engaging in further introspection exercises, such as journaling or meditation, can help peel back layers of conditioning to reveal your true aspirations. Another potential pitfall is the influence of external pressures on our goals. Even as we strive for authenticity, we may find ourselves swayed by societal expectations or the opinions of others. Setting clear boundaries and regularly reaffirming your personal values can help maintain your focus on your authentic path. As we conclude this chapter, take a moment to reflect on the journey we've undertaken. Refining your intentions is not a one-time event, but an ongoing process of self-discovery and alignment. It's about creating a life that resonates deeply with who you are at your core, rather than who you think you should be. Remember, the goal isn't perfection, but progress. Each step you take towards greater alignment with your authentic self is valuable, regardless of how small it might seem. Be patient with yourself as you navigate this journey and celebrate the moments of clarity and alignment as they come. As you move forward, keep in mind that refining your intentions is just one piece of the puzzle in the art of not forcing. In the next chapter, we'll explore a concept that might seem counterintuitive at first, but has the power to transform how you approach challenges and obstacles. Are you ready to discover how embracing what you've been resisting could lead to unprecedented growth and progress? The path ahead holds insights that could revolutionize your approach to personal development and success. Chapter 6: Flow with Resistance. Have you ever found yourself pushing against an immovable object, expending enormous energy, but making little progress? In our pursuit of goals and dreams, we often encounter obstacles that seem to block our path. These barriers can be frustrating, even demoralizing, leading us to question our abilities or the validity of our aspirations. But what if these very obstacles held the key to our success? In this chapter, we're going to explore a concept that might initially seem counterintuitive. It's an approach that challenges our conventional wisdom about how to deal with difficulties and setbacks. As we delve into this idea, you may find yourself questioning long-held beliefs about progress and achievement, but stick with it. The insights you gain could revolutionize how you approach challenges in every area of your life. At its core, this concept is about changing our relationship with the obstacles we face. It's about learning to see resistance not as an enemy to be vanquished, but as a valuable ally in our journey. This shift in perspective can transform our experience of difficulty, turning moments of frustration into opportunities for growth and innovation. But why is this shift so important? In our goal-oriented society, we're often taught to view resistance as something to be overcome through sheer force of will. We celebrate those who push through obstacles, who never give up in the face of adversity. While persistence is undoubtedly a valuable trait, this mindset can lead us to waste energy fighting against forces that could actually help us if we learn to work with them instead of against them. Recognizing resistance as valuable feedback is the first step in this transformation. When we encounter obstacles, our instinct is often to push harder or to become discouraged. But what if we instead saw these moments as signposts, offering us crucial information about our path and our methods? This perspective allows us to avoid unnecessary struggle, conserving our energy for efforts that truly move us forward. Moreover, learning to flow with resistance enhances our adaptability and capacity for growth. In a world that's constantly changing, the ability to pivot and adjust our approach is invaluable. By embracing resistance rather than fighting it, we develop a flexibility that allows us to navigate complex challenges with grace and creativity. To begin this journey, we need to become adept at recognizing the various forms resistance can take. Resistance isn't always external. It doesn't always manifest as obvious obstacles in our environment. Often, the most significant resistance we face is internal, arising from our own thoughts, fears, and habits. Internal resistance might show up as procrastination, self-doubt, or a nagging feeling of discomfort when we think about taking certain actions. External resistance, on the other hand, could be circumstances that seem to impede our progress, lack of resources, opposition from others, or unexpected setbacks. Understanding the difference between these types of resistance is crucial because they often require different approaches. Internal resistance might call for self-reflection and mindset shifts, while external resistance might require strategic planning and resource allocation. Equally important is learning to recognize the emotional signals of resistance. Frustration, anxiety, and a desire to avoid certain tasks are all common emotional responses to resistance. Instead of trying to push these feelings aside, we can learn to listen to them as valuable sources of information about our current approach and its alignment with our goals. As we become more attuned to these signals, we can start to interpret resistance as insight rather than obstruction. Each instance of resistance carries a message. It might be highlighting a flaw in our strategy, pointing out a misalignment between our actions and our true intentions, or signaling an opportunity for growth that we hadn't considered. Analyzing the message behind resistance requires patience and curiosity. When we encounter an obstacle, instead of immediately trying to overcome it, we can pause and ask ourselves, what is this resistance trying to tell me? Is there a different approach I could take? Am I pushing in the right direction, or is there a path of less resistance that could lead to the same goal? This analysis often leads to adjustments in our strategies. Sometimes, these adjustments are minor tweaks to our methods. Other times, they might involve a significant pivot in our approach. The key is to remain flexible, willing to adapt our tactics based on the feedback we receive from our encounters with resistance. Embracing resistance as a tool for growth is perhaps the most transformative aspect of this approach. When we view difficulties positively, as opportunities to build new skills and expand our capabilities, we transform our relationship with challenges. Instead of dreading obstacles, we begin to welcome them as chances to become stronger, more resourceful versions of ourselves. This mindset shift doesn't just make the journey more pleasant, it actually enhances our chances of success. By strengthening our adaptability, we become better equipped to handle whatever challenges come our way. In a world where change is the only constant, this flexibility is often the difference between thriving and merely surviving. So how do we actually move through resistance when we encounter it? One powerful technique is to practice mindset shifts. This involves consciously reframing how we think about challenges. Instead of seeing an obstacle as a roadblock, we can choose to view it as a detour that might lead us to unexpected opportunities. Affirmations can be helpful here, simple statements that reinforce our ability to adapt and grow in the face of difficulty. Action steps are equally important. Often, the best way to move through resistance is to take small, manageable steps that gradually expose us to the challenge we're facing. This approach allows us to build momentum slowly, accumulating small wins that boost our confidence and capacity to handle larger obstacles. To help integrate these concepts into your daily life, there are several practical exercises you can try. Resistance journaling is a powerful tool for developing awareness of the patterns of resistance in your life. By documenting instances when you encounter resistance and reflecting on the underlying causes, you can gain valuable insights into your habitual responses and begin to identify more effective strategies. Adaptive planning is another useful practice. This involves creating flexible action plans that anticipate potential obstacles and include multiple pathways to your goals. By engaging in scenario analysis, imagining different challenges that might arise, and brainstorming potential responses, you can develop a more resilient approach to achieving your objectives. As you begin to implement these practices and embrace the concept of flowing with resistance, you're likely to notice some positive changes. At a minimum, you should experience reduced frustration and smoother progress towards your goals. When you're not constantly fighting against obstacles, but instead learning to work with them, the journey becomes less stressful and more enjoyable. With continued practice, you may find your problem-solving skills significantly enhanced. The ability to view challenges from multiple perspectives and adapt your approach accordingly is a valuable asset in all areas of life. This flexibility of mind can lead to innovative solutions and unexpected breakthroughs. The ultimate outcome of mastering this approach is a kind of effortless success. This doesn't mean that challenges disappear, but rather that you develop the ability to navigate them with such skill and ease that they no longer feel like obstacles. You become adept at flowing around or through resistance, maintaining your forward momentum regardless of what comes your way. Of course, as with any significant shift in mindset and behavior, there can be challenges along the way. One common pitfall is misinterpreting resistance as failure. When we encounter obstacles, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking we've done something wrong or that we're not capable of achieving our goals. It's crucial to remember that resistance is a natural part of any worthwhile endeavor. The key is to change our perspective, emphasizing learning and growth rather than success or failure. Another potential challenge is overlooking persistent resistance. While it's important to learn to flow with resistance, There are times when consistent obstacles might be signaling a need for a more significant change. Knowing when to persist and when to reevaluate our goals or methods is a crucial skill. Sometimes, seeking outside perspective or professional help can provide valuable insights in these situations. As we conclude this chapter, take a moment to reflect on what you've learned. Flowing with resistance isn't about giving up in the face of challenges. It's about developing a more sophisticated, nuanced approach to achieving your goals, one that works with the forces you encounter rather than constantly fighting against them. Remember, this is a skill that develops over time with practice and patience. Be kind to yourself as you learn to recognize and flow with resistance. Celebrate the moments when you successfully navigate a challenge with ease and learn from the times when you find yourself struggling. As you move forward, keep in mind that flowing with resistance is just one piece of the puzzle in the art of not forcing. In the next chapter, we'll explore a concept that might challenge your ideas about progress and achievement even further. It's an approach that could fundamentally change how you view the passage of time and the unfolding of your goals. Are you ready to discover how slowing down could actually be the key to accelerating your success? The journey continues, and the path ahead holds insights that might surprise you in ways you never expected. Chapter 7: Cultivate Patience. In our fast-paced world, where instant gratification is often just a click away, there's a quality that's becoming increasingly rare and valuable. It's a trait that can transform our approach to goals, relationships, and personal growth. Yet, it's often misunderstood, sometimes even viewed as a weakness. What if this quality, when properly cultivated, could be the key to unlocking sustainable success and profound personal satisfaction? As we embark on this chapter, I invite you to consider moments in your life when you felt rushed, pressured to make quick decisions, or achieve rapid results. How did those situations make you feel? What were the outcomes? Now contrast those experiences with times when you allowed things to unfold at their natural pace. The difference can be striking, can't it? The quality we're exploring in this chapter might seem simple on the surface, but its depths and nuances can take a lifetime to master. It's a characteristic that great leaders, innovators, and visionaries throughout history have credited for their success. Yet, it's something that many of us struggle with daily in our personal and professional lives. At its core, this quality is about more than just waiting. It's about developing a particular kind of strength, a resilience that allows us to stay calm and focused in the face of challenges and delays. It's about cultivating a mindset that values long-term growth over short-term gains. But why is this so important? In our pursuit of success, we often fall into the trap of thinking that faster is always better. We push ourselves to achieve more in less time, constantly seeking shortcuts and quick fixes. While this approach might yield short-term results, it often leads to burnout, mistakes, and a sense of emptiness even when we achieve our goals. The alternative, cultivating patience, might seem counterintuitive in our fast-paced world. But patience, when properly understood and applied, can actually accelerate our progress towards meaningful success. It acts as a catalyst, creating the conditions necessary for sustainable growth and achievement. Consider the drawbacks of impatience. When we're impatient, we're more likely to make rash decisions, overlook important details, and miss out on opportunities that require time to develop. Impatience can lead to stress, anxiety, and a constant sense of dissatisfaction with our current circumstances. It can strain relationships and hinder our ability to learn and grow from experiences. In contrast, patience allows us to build a sustainable approach to our goals. It gives us the space to make thoughtful decisions, to learn from our experiences, and to adjust our strategies as needed. Patience enables us to persist in the face of setbacks, knowing that meaningful achievements often require time and consistent effort. But what exactly is patience? It's crucial to understand that patience is not the same as complacency or inaction. There's a common misconception that being patient means simply sitting back and waiting for things to happen. Nothing could be further from the truth. True patience is an active state. It involves maintaining focus and commitment to our goals while allowing the necessary time for growth and development. Patient individuals are not passive. They're engaged in constant learning, refining their approaches, and making steady progress towards their objectives. The distinction between patience and complacency is vital. Complacency is a state of self-satisfaction, often accompanied by a lack of awareness of potential dangers or deficiencies. Patience, on the other hand, involves a keen awareness of our current situation, coupled with a willingness to work steadily towards improvement without demanding immediate results. Our cultural perceptions of patience have been significantly shaped by the rise of technology and the instant gratification it often provides. We've become accustomed to immediate responses, quick solutions, and rapid results. While these advancements have brought many benefits, they've also cultivated a societal impatience that can be detrimental when applied to areas of life that inherently require time and sustained effort. The impact of this cultural shift towards immediacy is profound. It affects how we approach relationships, career development, personal growth, and even our mental health. The constant pressure to achieve quick results can lead to a chronic state of stress and dissatisfaction. Developing patience as a skill is crucial in counteracting these cultural pressures. Like any skill, patience can be cultivated and strengthened over time with practice. One effective way to develop patience is through mindfulness and breathing exercises. These techniques help us slow down our thoughts and reactions, allowing us to respond to situations more calmly and thoughtfully. Mindfulness practices teach us to focus on the present moment, accepting it as it is without immediately trying to change or rush through it. This acceptance is a cornerstone of patience. By learning to be present, we reduce our tendency to anxiously anticipate the future or regret the past, both of which can lead to impatient behavior. Breathing exercises in particular can be powerful tools for cultivating patience. When we're impatient, our breathing often becomes shallow and rapid. By consciously slowing and deepening our breath, we can activate our body's relaxation response, reducing stress and creating a physiological state more conducive to patience. Another crucial aspect of developing patience is practicing delayed gratification. In a world of instant rewards, the ability to postpone immediate pleasures for long-term benefits is increasingly valuable. This practice strengthens our willpower and helps us make decisions that align with our long-term goals rather than short-term desires. Practicing delayed gratification doesn't mean denying ourselves all immediate pleasures. Rather, it's about making conscious choices about when to indulge and when to wait. It's about understanding the value of long-term rewards and being willing to work steadily towards them. As we cultivate patience, maintaining focus over extended periods becomes easier. Setting long-term visions is an essential part of this process. When we have a clear picture of what we're working towards in the long run, it's easier to remain patient with the day-to-day challenges and slow progress that are often part of any significant endeavor. These long-term visions act as anchors, keeping us motivated and on track even when immediate results aren't visible. They remind us of the bigger picture, helping us to persist through difficulties and setbacks. However, it's crucial to balance this long-term focus with strategies to avoid burnout. Patience doesn't mean pushing ourselves relentlessly. It involves recognizing when we need rest and rejuvenation. By balancing periods of focused work with adequate rest, we create a sustainable approach to achieving our goals. Learning to recognize signs of overexertion is an important skill in this process. These signs might include persistent fatigue, decreased productivity, loss of enthusiasm for our goals, or increased irritability. When we notice these signs, it's time to step back, rest, and perhaps reassess our approach. One of the most challenging aspects of cultivating patience is embracing the natural pace of progress. We often have unrealistic expectations about how quickly we should achieve our goals. Learning to accept that some things simply can't be rushed is a crucial part of developing patience. This acceptance doesn't mean lowering our ambitions. Instead, it involves aligning our expectations with reality. It means understanding that meaningful growth and change often happen gradually in small increments that might not be immediately noticeable. Celebrating small wins becomes particularly important in this context. When we're working towards long-term goals, it's easy to overlook the progress we're making along the way. By consciously acknowledging and celebrating incremental achievements, we reinforce our patience and maintain motivation. These celebrations don't need to be grand gestures. They might be as simple as taking a moment to reflect on how far we've come, sharing our progress with a supportive friend, or treating ourselves to a small reward. The key is to recognize and appreciate the steps we're taking towards our larger goals. To help integrate these concepts into your daily life, there are several practical exercises you can try. Patience meditation is a powerful practice for cultivating this quality. This might involve sitting quietly and observing your thoughts and feelings without judgment, particularly when you notice impatience arising. During these meditations, you might focus on a mantra or visualization that reinforces patience. For example, you could imagine yourself as a mountain, solid and unmoved by the changing weather of daily events. Or you might repeat a phrase like, "I have all the time I need," or "Progress unfolds naturally." Goal tracking is another valuable tool for reinforcing patience. By visually representing your progress over time, you create concrete evidence of your advancement. This can be particularly helpful during periods when progress feels slow or unclear. Your goal tracking method could be as simple as a journal where you note milestones and achievements, or as detailed as a spreadsheet or app that allows you to input and graph various metrics related to your goals. The key is to choose a method that works for you and to use it consistently. As you begin to implement these practices and embrace the cultivation of patience, you're likely to notice some positive changes. At a minimum, you should experience reduced stress and less impulsive behavior. When you're not constantly pushing for immediate results, you create space for more thoughtful, deliberate actions. With continued practice, you may find that your ability to focus over extended periods improves, leading to better decision-making. Patience allows you to gather more information, consider multiple perspectives, and make choices that align with your long-term goals rather than short-term pressures. The ultimate outcome of mastering patience is the ability to achieve significant goals with resilience and calm. This doesn't mean that challenges disappear, but rather that you develop the capacity to navigate them without becoming overwhelmed or discouraged. You become able to persist through difficulties, adapt to changing circumstances, and maintain your commitment to your goals over the long term. Of course, as with any significant shift in mindset and behavior, there can be challenges along the way. One common pitfall is frustration with slow progress. It's natural to feel discouraged when things aren't moving as quickly as we'd like. In these moments, it's crucial to reframe our expectations, reminding ourselves of the value of steady, sustainable progress. Seeking support from others can be incredibly helpful during these times. Surrounding yourself with people who understand and support your long-term vision can provide encouragement and perspective when your patience is tested. Another potential challenge is mistaking patience for inaction. If you find yourself using patience as an excuse for procrastination or avoidance, it may be time to reassess your approach. Setting active milestones and regularly reviewing your goals can help ensure that your patience is productive rather than passive. As we conclude this chapter, take a moment to reflect on what you've learned. Cultivating patience is not about slowing down your progress. It's about creating a sustainable, resilient approach to achieving your goals. It's about developing the strength to persist through challenges, the wisdom to recognize the value of gradual growth, and the serenity to enjoy the journey as much as the destination. Remember, developing patience is a lifelong journey. Be patient with yourself as you practice these new ways of thinking and acting. Celebrate the moments when you find yourself naturally responding with patience, and learn from the times when impatience gets the better of you. As you move forward, keep in mind that cultivating patience is just one piece of the puzzle in the art of not forcing. In the next chapter, we'll explore a concept that might seem paradoxical at first. It's an approach that could fundamentally change how you view success and achievement. Are you ready to discover how letting go could be the key to gaining everything you desire? The journey continues, and the path ahead holds insights that might challenge your perceptions in ways you never imagined. Chapter 8. Allow success. Have you ever felt like you're constantly chasing after success only to find it always just out of reach? It's a common experience, this sense that no matter how hard we work or how much we achieve, true success remains elusive. But what if the very act of chasing is what's keeping success at bay? What if there's a completely different approach that could transform not just how we pursue our goals, but how we experience life itself? In this chapter, we're going to explore a concept that might seem counterintuitive at first. It's an idea that challenges our conventional wisdom about success and how to achieve it. As we delve into this approach, you may find yourself questioning long-held beliefs about effort, achievement, and what it truly means to be successful. At its core, this concept is about shifting our entire relationship with success. It's about moving from a mindset of scarcity and struggle to one of abundance and receptivity. This shift doesn't mean becoming passive or giving up on our ambitions. Rather, it's about changing how we pursue those ambitions, and in doing so, opening ourselves up to possibilities we might never have imagined. But why is this shift so important? To understand its significance, we need to first recognize the barriers that often prevent us from fully receiving success. Many of us have been conditioned to believe that success must be hard-won, that it's something we have to fight for and earn through constant struggle. This belief can create a self-fulfilling prophecy where we unconsciously push away the very success we're seeking. Moreover, this mindset of constantly chasing after success can be exhausting. It can lead to burnout, dissatisfaction, and a persistent feeling of never being enough. When we're always focused on the next goal, the next achievement, we miss out on the joy and fulfillment available to us in the present moment. The alternative, allowing success, is about embracing a mindset of abundance. It's based on the idea that success, like many good things in life, often comes to us more readily when we're open to receiving it. This doesn't mean sitting back and waiting for success to fall into our laps. Instead, it's about creating the conditions that allow success to flow naturally into our lives. To begin this shift, we need to create a success-friendly mindset. This often starts with overcoming limiting beliefs about our own worthiness. Many of us carry deep-seated doubts about whether we truly deserve success. These doubts can manifest as self-sabotage, procrastination, or a tendency to downplay our achievements. Challenging these hindering thoughts is crucial. It involves recognizing that success isn't a limited resource that only a select few deserve. Success, in its many forms, is available to all of us. Believing in your own worthiness is the first step in allowing success to enter your life. Adopting an abundance mentality goes hand in hand with this belief in worthiness. An abundance mentality is the belief that there are enough resources, opportunities, and success to go around. It's the opposite of a scarcity mindset, which views life as a zero-sum game where one person's success must come at another's expense. Shifting to an abundance mentality can be transformative. It allows us to celebrate others' successes without feeling diminished. It helps us see opportunities where we might previously have seen only obstacles. And it creates a sense of ease and flow in our pursuits, replacing the tension and struggle of constant competition. As we work on cultivating this mindset, it's also important to remove barriers to receiving. One common barrier is self-sabotaging behavior. This might manifest as procrastination, perfectionism, or a tendency to create unnecessary drama in our lives. These behaviors often stem from fear of failure, fear of success, or fear of change. Recognizing these patterns is the first step in overcoming them. Once we're aware of how we might be blocking our own success, we can develop strategies to eliminate these obstacles. This might involve challenging our fears, setting realistic expectations, or seeking support from others. Another powerful way to remove barriers is through simplifying and decluttering our lives. This applies not just to our physical spaces, but also to our mental and emotional landscapes. When our lives are cluttered with unnecessary commitments, relationships that no longer serve us, or outdated beliefs, we leave little room for new opportunities to enter. By simplifying and decluttering, we create space, both literally and figuratively, for new possibilities. This might involve organizing our workspace, streamlining our commitments, or letting go of relationships or habits that drain our energy. The goal is to create an environment that's conducive to receiving success. Enhancing our receptivity is another crucial aspect of allowing success. One powerful practice for doing this is cultivating gratitude. When we focus on what we're grateful for, we shift our attention from what's lacking to what's abundant in our lives. This shift in focus can dramatically change our perception of success and our ability to recognize it when it appears. Keeping a gratitude journal is a simple yet effective way to practice this. By regularly noting down things we're thankful for, we train our minds to notice the positive aspects of our lives. This doesn't mean ignoring challenges or difficulties, but rather maintaining a balanced perspective that acknowledges both the positive and the negative. Building positive expectations is another way to enhance receptivity. This involves visualizing positive outcomes and using affirmations to reinforce an open, receptive mindset. The key here is to focus on the feeling of success rather than specific outcomes. How would it feel to be living your most successful life? What emotions and sensations would you experience? By regularly engaging in these visualizations and affirmations, we begin to align our subconscious mind with our conscious desires. We create a mental and emotional state that's primed to recognize and receive success when it appears. Of course, allowing success doesn't mean becoming passive. It's about finding a balance between being proactive and being receptive. This involves taking inspired action, steps that feel aligned with our goals and values, while remaining open to unexpected opportunities and paths. Being proactive without forcing means taking initiative in a way that feels natural and energizing. It's about following our intuition and acting on ideas that excite us, rather than pushing ourselves to do things because we think we should. When we act from this place of alignment, we often find that our efforts yield better results with less struggle. Networking and collaboration play a crucial role in this approach. By connecting with others and building meaningful relationships, we create a web of support and opportunity. These connections often lead to unexpected possibilities and can accelerate our success in ways we might never have anticipated. To help integrate these concepts into your daily life, there are several practical exercises you can try. Gratitude journaling, as mentioned earlier, is a powerful practice for shifting your focus to the abundance already present in your life. Try setting aside a few minutes each day to write down 3 to 5 things you're grateful for. These can be big or small, from a major achievement to a moment of beauty you noticed during your day. Affirmation practice is another valuable tool. Create positive statements that reinforce your openness to success and your belief in your own worthiness. These might be statements like, "I am open and receptive to all the abundance life has to offer," or "I trust in my ability to create success on my own terms." Repeat these affirmations daily, perhaps as part of your morning routine or before bed at night. As you begin to implement these practices and embrace the concept of allowing success, you're likely to notice some positive changes. At a minimum, you should experience increased positivity and openness in your daily life. When you're not constantly striving and struggling, you create space for more joy and ease in your experiences. With continued practice, you may find yourself attracting new opportunities. These might come in unexpected forms: a chance encounter that leads to a new project, an idea that seems to come out of nowhere, or a sudden clarity about a path forward that you hadn't considered before. The ultimate outcome of fully embracing this approach is the effortless achievement of goals through receptivity. This doesn't mean that you won't face challenges or that you won't need to put in effort, but it does mean that your efforts will feel more aligned, more energizing, and often more effective. Success becomes less about forcing outcomes and more about allowing your natural talents and passions to flourish. Of course, as with any significant shift in mindset and behavior, there can be challenges along the way. One common pitfall is reverting to a scarcity mindset, especially when faced with setbacks or difficulties. It's important to be aware of these tendencies and to have strategies in place to reinforce your abundance thinking when you notice yourself slipping into old patterns. Another potential challenge is overlooking opportunities because they don't match our preconceived notions of what success should look like. Enhancing our awareness and staying present can help us recognize and appreciate the various forms success might take in our lives. As we conclude this chapter, take a moment to reflect on what you've learned. Allowing success isn't about passivity or magical thinking. It's about creating a mindset and an environment that's conducive to success, and then trusting in the process. It's about recognizing that often the gentlest path is also the most effective. Remember, this shift doesn't happen overnight. Be patient with yourself as you practice these new ways of thinking and being. Celebrate the moments when you find yourself naturally allowing success, and learn from the times when you catch yourself falling back into old patterns of striving and struggling. As you move forward, keep in mind that allowing success is just one piece of the puzzle in the art of not forcing. In the next chapter, we'll explore a concept that ties together everything we've discussed so far. It's an approach that could fundamentally change how you navigate life's challenges and opportunities. Are you ready to discover the ultimate secret to effortless achievement? The journey continues, and the final piece of the puzzle awaits, one that might just revolutionize your entire approach to success and fulfillment. Chapter 9, Embrace the Flow. As we reach the culmination of our journey through the art of not forcing, it's time to bring together all the threads we've explored and weave them into a tapestry of effortless living. This final chapter is about more than just summarizing what we've learned. It's about integrating these principles into a cohesive approach to life that allows success to flow naturally and abundantly. Throughout this book, we've challenged conventional wisdom about success and achievement. We've explored concepts that might have seemed counterintuitive at first. Ideas about easing into our goals rather than forcing them, trusting the process even when the path isn't clear, detaching from outcomes while staying committed to our intentions. Now, it's time to see how all these pieces fit together to create a transformative way of living. The concept of flow, first introduced by psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, describes a state of optimal experience where we're fully immersed in what we're doing, feeling energized, focused, and enjoying the process. It's a state where action and awareness merge, where time seems to fall away, and where we perform at our best almost effortlessly. But flow isn't just about those peak moments of performance. The principles we've explored in this book allow us to cultivate a lifestyle of flow, a way of moving through the world that feels natural, aligned, and deeply satisfying. This approach doesn't mean we'll never face challenges or that everything will always go smoothly. Rather, it's about learning to navigate life's ups and downs with grace, staying open to possibilities, and trusting in our ability to adapt and thrive. So, how can what you've learned in this book empower you in your daily life? The key lies in integration, bringing together all the concepts we've explored and applying them consistently. This isn't about perfectly executing each principle all the time, but about cultivating a mindset that allows these ideas to inform your choices and actions naturally. Imagine approaching each day with a sense of ease, trusting that you have what it takes to handle whatever comes your way. Picture yourself detached from specific outcomes, yet fully engaged in the process of working towards your goals. Envision being patient with your progress, allowing success to unfold in its own time while staying committed to your path. This integrated approach creates a lifestyle of not forcing, a way of being that feels both powerful and peaceful. You'll likely find yourself experiencing increased confidence as you navigate challenges with greater ease. You'll feel a deeper sense of control over your journey, not because you're micromanaging every detail, but because you trust in your ability to flow with life's currents. One of the most profound impacts of embracing flow is how it can transform your relationships. When you approach interactions with openness and patience, you create space for deeper connections. You become a better listener, more attuned to others' needs and perspectives. Your communication becomes clearer and more authentic as you express yourself from a place of ease rather than urgency or defensiveness. Moreover, embracing flow in your interactions can significantly reduce conflict. When you're not attached to being right or achieving a specific outcome, you can engage in discussions more collaboratively. You become more adept at finding win-win solutions and navigating disagreements with grace. This doesn't mean avoiding difficult conversations, but rather approaching them with a spirit of openness and understanding. As you continue to practice these principles, you'll likely find yourself achieving goals with less effort than before. This doesn't mean you won't work hard or face challenges. Instead, it means that your efforts will feel more aligned and purposeful. You'll be able to overcome barriers that previously seemed insurmountable, not by forcing your way through them, but by flowing around them or finding unexpected paths forward. Perhaps most importantly, you'll experience a deeper sense of satisfaction and fulfillment in your journey. Success becomes not just about reaching specific milestones, but about the joy and growth you experience along the way. You'll find yourself appreciating the process as much as the outcome, finding meaning and contentment in each step of your path. The beauty of this approach is that it allows for continuous improvement with less and less effort over time. As you embrace the concept of continuous evolution, you'll find yourself naturally adapting to change more gracefully. Life becomes a journey of lifelong learning, where each experience, whether perceived as positive or negative, offers an opportunity for growth and refinement. This mindset of continuous evolution goes hand in hand with allowing life to unfold. Instead of trying to control every aspect of your future, you learn to trust in the journey. This doesn't mean becoming passive or fatalistic. Rather, it's about taking inspired action while remaining open to unexpected opportunities and paths that may arise. Living authentically becomes a natural outcome of this approach. When you're not forcing or pretending, when you're allowing yourself to flow with life rather than against it, you naturally express your true self more fully. Your actions align more closely with your beliefs and values, creating a sense of integrity that others can feel and respect. This authenticity has a ripple effect, encouraging others to be more genuine in their own lives. You become a living example of what it means to embrace flow, inspiring those around you to explore their own paths with greater ease and authenticity. Embracing continuous evolution means viewing life as ever-changing and staying open to growth in all its forms. It's about accepting that change is constant and learning to adapt with grace rather than resistance. This mindset allows you to stay curious, to approach each day with a beginner's mind, always ready to learn and evolve. Committing to lifelong learning becomes not just a noble ideal, but a natural way of being. You find yourself pursuing knowledge not out of obligation, but out of genuine curiosity and a desire to expand your understanding of yourself and the world around you. As you allow life to unfold, you'll discover a profound sense of peace, even in the face of uncertainty. This doesn't mean you'll never feel anxious or worried, but that you'll have the tools to return to a state of trust and acceptance more quickly. You'll find joy in the present moment more easily, appreciating the beauty and potential in each day rather than always looking to the future for fulfillment. In embracing flow, you're not just adopting a new set of techniques or strategies, you're cultivating a fundamentally different way of being in the world, one that aligns you more closely with the natural rhythms of life and your own deepest truths. This alignment is the key to effortless achievement and profound fulfillment. As we conclude this journey, I invite you to reflect on how far you've come. Think about the concepts that resonated most deeply with you, the insights that surprised you, the practices that you're excited to implement in your life. Remember that embracing flow is not about perfection. It's about progress, about moving through life with greater ease, authenticity, and joy. The path ahead is uniquely yours, filled with possibilities that you may not yet imagine. Trust in your ability to navigate this path with grace and wisdom. Embrace the flow of life, knowing that you have within you everything you need to create a life of effortless success and deep fulfillment. As you close this book and step back into your daily life, carry with you the knowledge that you are not separate from the flow of life. You are an integral part of it. Your journey of not forcing has just begun, and the greatest adventures lie ahead. Trust in the flow, embrace the journey, and watch as life unfolds in ways more beautiful and fulfilling than you ever imagined possible. Yet, as you navigate this new path, you may encounter situations that challenge your newfound sense of ease and flow. In these moments, the ability to remain calm and composed becomes crucial. There's an essential skill that complements and enhances everything you've learned here. Mastering this skill could be the key to fully unlocking the potential of not forcing in your life. To take your transformation to the next level and truly embody the art of effortless living, I invite you to explore the audiobook, The Power of Not Reacting: Genius Strategies to Stay Calm in Any Situation. Tap the center of the video now to continue your transformation journey.